Friedberg was like, what does this mean for Google? Well, we all just said that what we're certain of is there's not going to be 10 blue links and a model of search that they have monetized in a way that has been the most prolific business model in the history of capitalism, right? So that's a problem for them, from a business model perspective. So they're going to have to reinvent their business. That's going to be hard to do. It's like rebuilding the plane on the fly. But then if you just go to the two models that we outlined here, on the one hand, Chamath said, you're going to work with all of these agents. That's exactly what Mark Zuckerberg said on Lex. He's like, you're not going to have one super agent. You're going to have, hundreds of agents. And he thinks of WhatsApp and all of his platforms as the new open web where all of these agents will live and you'll interact with them. You'll interact with your Zillow agent there. You'll interact with your booking agent, or Expedia agent there, et cetera. On the other hand, ChatGPT, Pi at Inflection, Reid Hoffman and Mustafa, and many others think that the benefits of general intelligence, this will be the first time that we solve vertical problems horizontally, right? And their metaphor, the compare there is we all don't have 100 personal assistants in our office. You have one that gets to know you really well. They get to know what you like to wear, how you like to travel, the things you like to eat, the things you like in your house, how many kids you have. So there's real leverage in that horizontal knowledge that can then be applied to these different verticals. I think the answer lies in between. Your personal assistant will do a lot of the general stuff, okay? Whether it's Pi, ChatGPT, whatever Googs comes up with, et cetera. But I think they will subcontract the work, whether they chain it out via, behind the scene, mechanism to other agents. So for example, if you're interested in traveling to this undisclosed location that I'm at in Europe right now, my assistant doesn't know anything about this place. So she may interact with a specialist for this particular place to get you that magical experience. So, I don't think you have to pick one or the other, but architecturally, right. $20 trillion of value on the web is built around web pages, advertising, and e-commerce, right? And sending traffic to those other places. And what we're all saying unequivocally is it's moving to knowledge extraction and intelligent agents. And I think that's tectonic.
But I still think there'll be clicks. I have been using Bard a whole bunch, and they have made massive, rapid progress. Just to give you but one example here, I'll share my screen. It is pretty extraordinary how quickly they're figuring this out. And I did the search while we were talking. One of the 5 best Greek restaurants in the Bay Area obviously came up with Kokari and, other ones. And then I asked it hey, what are the top items on each of these menus? They started putting images in and linking to Yelp. And then I said, hey, tell me the most expensive wines. And it actually got that from Kokari. They have a Chateau Margaux 2009 for $1,500. Chamath, I don't think it's good enough for you, but
what year is it?
It looks like 2009. Yeah, they have Screaming Eagle 2013. I don't know if that's a no-go. Harlan 2014.
No-go.
Yeah, so it's a no-go.
Nouveau riche. Yuck.
Yeah, but anyway,
Harlan's good. Harlan's good. What
Harlan's
year?
Okay. Okay, good. So we got to save. Anyway, I did the same exact search 4 weeks ago. It didn't have images, and it couldn't get me the items on the menus. And these could all be links, and these could all be paid links. So in these results, there's nothing to stop Google from saying, hey, Yelp, if you want, we'll put your information here or not, up to you. You choose, do robots.txt, except we're going to call it AI.txt. You tell us what you want to be included. And if you want to be included, we want, it's a marketplace for clicks. We'll include 3 of your images with clicks, and we'll call it sponsored. They are going to be able to insert ads into here that are better than the current ads and that will perform at a higher level, and they're going to know us. This could actually be the reverse of what everybody's thinking. This could lead to higher CPMs and higher cost per click because of intent.
By the way, I mean, the 2014 is actually, I think, underrated, and it's very highly rated, but I think it is an excellent wine.
All right.
That's an excellent year.
Okay, Jason, as to your point, I think all of that, that's impressive. It's true. You can also do it on ChatGPT. I'll just say the number of people I interact with on a global basis who talk about ChatGPT versus Bard is 10 to 1 today. Now, Google's got massive...
That's going to change real fast.
Google's got massive distribution power. Let me tell you what I also think.
But to your point, Brad, about this, Brad, I just want to respond to your Bard versus ChatGPT 4. That's people are not paying attention. And when Google puts this on the homepage, and start sending 5% of users to it, I mean,
for
obviously
sure.
it's expensive to do it.
Powerful.
People are going to have their eyes jump out of their head. I think Google's going to beat ChatGPT-4. I'm saying it right here, right now. I think they're going to beat them because I think that they're better at indexing all this information and understanding it than anybody on the planet. And they have the largest ad network. If they get this done in the next 6 months, I think it's going to increase the cost per click because they're going to know so much about each user. Continue, Brad. I know I'm in the minority here.
Well, I mean, listen, I think a lot of Google's revenue comes from de facto navigation of the web. They turn the URL into a navigation box. There are a bunch of ads there that, people click on. They don't even know they're clicking on ads. And, they generate a lot of revenue off of that. But let's be clear. Google is firing at this. I just don't think it's going to be as monopolistic as they are in search. I think there are going to be other competitors who are going to be well-financed, who are going to have access to the data. And today, you have well north of 100 million people who are paying to, a huge percentage of those to use ChatGPT. And I think that this, it's the first competition, but, Friedberg knows, he and I had the back and forth. They reported earnings. Stock was flat. I said on CNBC that we had sold our shares. We bought back some of the shares around Google I/O because we do think they're going to be a player. We think they're going to be a beneficiary. But I would say, as I sit here today, the distribution of potential for them is less than it was before ChatGPT. The distribution of upside. They have some competitors now who are going to be vying for this next new thing. And I wonder whether or not, as they try to navigate, you're saying they're going to take some of this traffic from search and feed it into this other thing. This other thing better monetize as well as search, or by definition, that means revenue goes down.
It feels like Google is so close to figuring this out. I mean, I've been doing some barred searches.
Jake, how much Google do you own? How much Google do you own?
Not enough.
Yeah.
I just been playing with the on my jtrading.com.
He's thinking of adding this.
He's thinking of adding
I'm
because
thinking
he
of adding
talked to Sundar last
$10,000,
week.
like a buy-in or two.